the Phantom of the Abyss. The ocean was a vast, indifferent expanse, stretching endlessly beneath a moonless sky. The only sound was the rhythmic crashing of waves against the bow of the trawler, Sea Siren, as it cut through the inky black waters. Captain Mark Larsen stood at the helm, peering into the darkness, his mind heavy with the tales of the Phantom of the Abyss. Mark had grown up hearing the legend of the ghost ship that wandered these waters, a cursed vessel crewed by the damned. According to the stories, the Phantom of the Abyss appeared out of nowhere, shrouded in an eerie fog, and those who saw it were never seen again. Tonight, with the air thick and still, Mark couldn't shake the feeling that the tales were more than just seafarers' lore. "All clear, Captain?" asked First Mate Jenny, her voice breaking the silence. She was a seasoned sailor, her confidence a steadying presence for the crew. "Aye, but keep a sharp lookout," Mark replied, his voice gravelly with unease. "These waters have a reputation, and I'd rather not become part of it." As the night deepened, a strange fog began to roll in, blanketing the Sea Siren in a cold, clammy mist. The temperature dropped sharply, and an unnatural silence fell over the ocean. The crew exchanged nervous glances, their breath visible in the frigid air. "Fog's rolling in fast," Jenny noted, her voice barely more than a whisper. Mark nodded, his eyes narrowing as he peered into the thickening mist. "Keep the lights on and the horn ready. We don't want to run aground or collide with anything." Suddenly, a ghostly shape emerged from the fog. It was an old, decaying ship, its masts broken and sails tattered, floating eerily still on the water. The crew of the Sea Siren stared in horror as they recognized the vessel from the legends, the Phantom of the Abyss. "Impossible," Mark muttered, his heart pounding in his chest. "It's just a story." But the evidence was undeniable. The Phantom ship was real, and it was right in front of them. As the Sea Siren drew closer, a chilling wail echoed through the fog, sending shivers down the spines of the crew. Mark tightened his grip on the wheel, his knuckles white with tension. "We need to turn back," Jenny urged, her eyes wide with fear. "This isn't something we should mess with." Mark hesitated, his pride warring with his fear. But before he could make a decision, a powerful force rocked the Sea Siren, nearly capsizing it. The crew clung to the railings, their screams swallowed by the howling wind. "Brace yourselves," Mark shouted, trying to maintain control of the ship. But the fog was alive, swirling around them with a malevolent energy. Ghostly figures appeared on the deck of the Phantom ship, their eyes hollow and lifeless. They reached out with skeletal hands, their mouths opening in silent screams. One of the figures, a tall, imposing man in a captain's uniform, stepped forward. His eyes locked onto Mark's, and a voice echoed in his mind. "You have trespassed into our domain," the Phantom captain intoned. "Now you must pay the price." The Sea Siren lurched again, and the ghostly crew began to board the trawler. The air grew colder still, and a palpable sense of dread settled over the sailors. Mark fought to keep his composure, but it was a losing battle. "Everyone to the lifeboats," he ordered, his voice cracking with desperation. "We need to abandon ship." But as the crew scrambled to obey, the Phantom captain raised a spectral hand. The lifeboats shattered, their pieces falling into the sea. There was no escape. Mark felt a cold hand close around his throat, lifting him off the deck. The Phantom captain's eyes bored into his, and Mark knew he was staring into the void itself. "Your souls are ours now," the Phantom whispered, his voice a deathly chill. "Welcome to the Abyss." As darkness closed in around him, Mark's last thought was of the tales he had dismissed as mere legend. The Phantom of the Abyss was real, and its curse was eternal. The Sea Siren and its crew were lost to the depths, their souls bound forever to the ghostly ship, doomed to sail the haunted waters for all eternity.